I talk to accountants, bookkeepers, and tax professionals, CPA firms that really like the idea of starting their own business and getting going. But there's one thing they absolutely miss. And I want to hit on this. Now, my name is Rob. I own Feedbackwrench. We've got a little team of 7 that does strategy, website, and messaging to make the web your best employee. We do websites, advertising, and SEO. And then we provide you with the strategy and the messaging so that you can actually close a ton of business. That's really what we're all about. Go look at our work. Go to feedbackwrench.com. Go read the reviews and see what we're all about. I've been doing this since 2015. I had an accounting firm before that. But in this, I want to talk about this one thing bookkeeping firms, bookkeeping businesses really struggle with. One thing that accountants and bookkeepers alike struggle with. They look at a firm like similar to what I had built at Nuance Financial Tax and Accounting. They see people online and they think, by golly, I'm a great accountant. I'm going to go get the skills to do this. I'm going to go out and buy the courses to really understand how to be an accounting firm or a bookkeeping firm, but they lack one thing: the get it done sales. Okay. If you want to have an accounting firm, we all know this, and I bet a bunch of you will click off right now. But I'm telling you, if you want a firm, it doesn't matter how smart you are, how good at accounting you are. It matters how good you are at getting clients. It matters at sales and production. You certainly have to deliver on production. I know too many intelligent accountants that stand around unable to deliver profits for themselves and can't have their dream business because they're too scared, they don't know how, or they don't embrace the reality that's required to get the kind of business that I had grown. Now I've done 2 businesses, or the type of business that the operation down the road has. Look, if you're not willing to invest 80% of your energy into sales and then 20% into execution, genuinely, every minute of your day should fall in line with that. Every dollar within your operating budget should fall in line with that for the first 3 or 4 years. Now, a lot of accountants will hear that and they're like, sure, that's a marketing guy telling me. I don't like marketers. I understand. But here's what you need to know. Without any sales, you don't get to do accounting. You know that already. But let me just walk you through a couple things. I always ask people, what if you could all of a sudden show up with a fantastic swing of the bat to everybody that's sitting within a 20-mile circle of you that's looking bookkeepers near me or bookkeeping services near me or business accountants near me, and you had an opportunity to buy them a coffee? Would you buy them a coffee? How many coffees would you have to have? Now, there's some numbers behind this, but I just want to talk about if you want an accounting business, you need sales and marketing. You need digital marketing on top of this, but it's only one side of this. You have to passionately decide that you're going to do everything you possibly can to get enough front-end activity out in front of you so that you can actually get enough prospects to find diamonds. See, your perfect client that loves the outsourced accounting model, which I always talk about, that really values what you deliver, that wants to pay a higher retainer, they're like a diamond. You're going to face a whole bunch of rubies and tin and trash or okay looking stuff, but good is the enemy of great in this business. You're going to hear me say this all the time. And if you want to actually be able to have a successful business, you have to get enough front-end activity. You have to. If you don't get enough front-end activity, you're really going to fail. And the front-end activity is simple. You have to have great digital marketing, a great website. You have to run paid search ads. You have to run Facebook and Instagram ads. You need to have conversations in person. You should probably do some cold email and some cold calling. You should be able to call a guy. Go drive up and down the road and see how many trucks you see with a logo on them, with a business name on them. How many lawn care services are there between you and 10 miles down the road? How many concrete people are there? How many remodelers? How many just tiling contract? Whatever it is, if you peak hard enough, there are businesses everywhere that aren't getting proactive tax planning. They don't have a great accountant. They don't have an outsourced accountant, okay? But what I want to talk about is one of the things people will say is they're like, oh, I think that's the job of marketing. Well, marketing and sales is part of it. Our setups are $4,500, $7,500, and $12,000. It is the cornerstone of what you're going to do, but it's also the coaching and the messaging and the activity you have to do. If you want a serious business, you have to bring serious prospecting to the table if you really want to get it. Now, if you persist through 2 or 3 years, you're going to get this. If you persist for the first 2 years and you do the front end activity, you make the phone calls, you do that, you're going to succeed. But what I want you to think about is, what if all of a sudden you found out in the next week or in the next month, your family is going to pass away unless you can get a customer? Like if you actually ask yourself that, I'm not saying actually play those sick games with yourself. What would you do if you had to get a client now? I know what I'd do. I'd pick up the phone and I'd do what no other accountant is doing and simply call, hey, is this Joe's Remodeling? Joe, how you doing, man? I see your truck drive up and down. I'm a local accountant. I'm down the road from you. I do bookkeeping, tax planning, and accounting, and I do it for small businesses. I was wondering if I could kind of professionally call on you, and I was wondering if I could send you an email to introduce myself because I'd love to earn your business. I'd love to earn your business. So if you needed to get a client, that's what you'd do. And you do it with confidence. That didn't sound so hard when I said it. Right? Hey, Joe, are you the one that owns that business? Yeah. Hey, I'm down the road from you. I'm in Lakeville, about 10 miles south of you. I just saw you on Google. I have an accounting business. I do tax planning, I do tax returns, and I do bookkeeping. Do you have a really good solution for bookkeeping, payroll, and tax planning? Or could I send you an email to introduce myself? And you'll find, you just do that. If you were to do that, that's how you'd make sure that you didn't lose out, because it doesn't require anything. Now, I learned this from the financial services industry because that's where like dialing for dollars kind of originated. If you go watch like The Wolf of Wall Street, and selling investments and insurance is really where it's just a numbers game. You get into these pyramid schemes. The first thing they have you do is do your Project 300, where they stack up and say, I want you to write down 300 people that you know, and I want you to come up with their names and emails, and I want you to confront all 300 of these people with the opportunity to do business with you. If you don't do that, you're not going to win. So that's the number one thing that businesses miss out on. And then not only would you go out and call and cold call and interact, but make videos, create videos to the niche or sector, very specific. Help them, be a guide. You're the Jedi that knows how to help them go from stuck to succeed. And don't just talk about taxes and bookkeeping. They don't care about that. Talk about starting the business, setting up the LLC, setting up the bookkeeping, talk about Jobber, talk about all these different pieces of software that are out there that they're going to need. Become competent in these things. Find adjacent ideas that you might be able, show them how to set up an S-Corp in Florida, how to convert to an S-Corp in Florida, how to set up payroll in Florida, how to do that in your city, how to do that for your sector, how to do it for the sector in the city, how to do it for the sector in the state. Create so many YouTube videos that if they peek a little bit into Google about how to do this stuff, they're going to find you. That's all that it takes. You do that with making some phone calls, you turn on some digital marketing, you have a sweet website with great messaging, good retargeting so that you stay in front of them. You will create a sweet business. And here's another thing I want you to think about. Let's just imagine for a minute you landed a $500 a month client. So much of the time, we forget how valuable these clients are, right? I worked at Best Buy. And when I worked at Best Buy, I remember, love or hate Best Buy, back in the 2004 till 2010, you could get a customer to come in and give you $300 to update their computer, put antivirus on it, install Microsoft Office. It was like, holy cows, that was a sweet package. And if you see what the people who sell door-to-door weed services and bug treatments and all this, what they'll do to get people on like a $80 a month plan, you start realizing how huge your services are. Now, there's a lot that goes into them, but you don't have any inputs. You don't have to drive anywhere. Like, you don't have any materials. You have a super profitable business. So in the first year, if you land a $500 a month client, the first year that's $6,000. Let's be frank here. They're not going to leave you unless you screw it up. I think on average, most people stay with their CPA for 7 years. So year one, $6,000, $12,000 in year two, $18,000 in year three, $24,000 in year four, year five, $30,000. Year six, that's a $36,000 client. Don't you think you should try harder than the guys selling snow care or snow removal or any of this stuff? Like, that's a serious contract. That's $500 a month. What would you do to get that? Like, that's a big deal. And that's just $500 a month, guys. I don't even think you can build a business off of that, really. I encourage you to be looking at $1,200 a month clients, $900 to $1,500, $2,500 a month clients. You can land a $1,200 a month client. That's $14,400 in the first year, $28,000 in year two. We go all the way to year three, $43,000, year four, $57,000. By year six, that's an $86,000 client. The lifelong, and that's just there. Besides the fact that if you wow them, they're going to come to you for other things. They're going to refer you. You have the opportunity to transform their life. You can actually create, that might sound like a lot of money, but I'm telling you, you're going to be cheaper than them hiring somebody that's an amateur to come in and do this stuff at half tilt. So the one thing that bookkeepers and accountants miss is they don't focus enough on sales and marketing. They spend too much time in execution. And the moment they get something to execute on, they just get distracted and don't come back and keep selling. Not only that, but they don't sell during tax season. Tax season is prime. Yeah, you're busy. Yeah, it's awful. Keep good clients away so you can pursue the great. You have to offload good customers so that you can take on the great customers. Good is the enemy of great in this. And some of the things that I recommend, don't do individual tax returns. Don't do just tax returns. From now on, you have to have a perfect fit approach. And you'll see this in lots of my videos. There's 4 things I think that go into creating a super successful accounting firm. Number 1, you have to have a high volume of leads and a perfect fit attitude. Don't let people just do taxes or just do bookkeeping. Only people that do the full outsourced accounting model, because they're adjacent. They're going to want you. You're going to end up doing it whether you want to or not. I'm telling you, perfect fit. Only accept those. And those that don't, here's the secret. Find a competitor to send them to. Oh, you just want your taxes done? You should probably call Ted's Tax down the road and inundate them with people that just don't see value. Don't do it in a mean way, but they probably are all right with it, okay? And then you have to have a high volume of leads. If you don't get that high volume of leads. Number 2, and I'm just going to move quick, there's other videos. Value-driven service model. You got to focus on value and have efficient onboarding. That really is tied to the tax season, and it's hard to onboard clients. Onboarding clients is a beast. You better get good at it. You better have checklists and stuff. And then you got to sell during tax season. Easy to follow SOPs for clients and staff. If you don't do that, you're going to find yourself in a pickle because you're driving a car 100 miles an hour while you build the car. Trust me when I say this, I've done this twice. This thing's a beast. You got to get this set. And then the last thing is you got to create a vision culture. You have to have a vision culture so that you can attract excellent talent. If you don't have a good purpose and a mission and a set of values, or if you aren't living those values and you can't communicate that clearly to people, they're just going to be bookkeepers. And bookkeepers and accountants already are tended towards like not being excited about what they're doing. But if you can find passionate people, they will engage with your customers at a passionate level. They don't have to be extroverted like me. They don't have to be wound up and caffeinated like me. But by golly, when you have a meaningful vision culture, the type of organization, and that's what vision culture is. It's not that you have rules and bureaucracy and red tape. It's that you create a vision for the type of people and the type of organization and the thing we're setting out to do. We're heading there. And I want people that are on board with this vision culture. So for us, we want to make the web your best employee. That's my mission. The reason why I do that is because I know by impacting their business, I actually impact their family, their spiritual life. Like I'm a follower of Jesus. I want to help more people have successful businesses because I think it transforms their communities. I think it's the anti-communism. I think that more people deserve to make more money and they're just not being shown how to. I'm motivated by entrepreneurship. I can go on and on and on about that. Our values are to be trustworthy, competent, enjoyable, and rigorous. Competent, we want to be really good at what we do. Rigorous, I hate coddled ideas. Let's put the screws to our plans and execute. Trustworthy for me is to pursue my customers' best interests above all else. That means I give away a lot of stuff. That means I'm kind to other people. That means it's never about me. It's genuinely about my customer. That's how do we hand off. We end well. We start well. I've built this thing in even our pricing. Go check out our pricing. We have upfront just strategic pricing. You do a setup. You could just take it and run with it if you want, or you can hire us to do more if you want to. And then enjoyable. I don't want to take myself too serious. I know that my employees and my team, or not my employees, my team that I have around me is driven by that. And if we do that, we're going to be able to succeed. So if you want a super successful accounting and bookkeeping business, boy, you better get enough sales. Because if you don't get enough sales, you don't get to have a firm. You just got to go be an accountant somewhere else. And I'll end on that. Like and subscribe. Take a look. We're going to have accountingwebsites.org where we're going to share comparing different websites, analyzing websites. We've got bookkeeperseo.com, which is all about how to rank in SEO. And then we're going to have Accountant Hustle, another website. Good luck. God bless. Book a consultation. If you want strategy, messaging, and writing, man, we'd love to help you. Go to feedbackwrench.com. Good luck. God bless.